video explains how to transfer financial information from accounting reports to the AgriProfit's data input tables. In particular, it explains what types of information are typically captured by accounting software, types of generated reports, and how to transfer the accounting information to the AgriProfit's data tables. There is a great variety of accounting software that differs substantially in terms of types of data captured and reports generated. In this video, we will focus mostly on the types of information captured by general-purpose accounting software, such as QuickBooks, Sage Simply, and AgExpert, which are frequently used by producers. Specialized accounting and record-keeping software aimed at specific activities such as crop production or livestock management are not covered here. Typical types of data captured by general-purpose accounting software are receipts or revenues, expenses, both cash and accrual, and records of business assets and liabilities. Collected information enables the production of a variety of financial reports, such as the income and expense statement, inventory report, and reports for accounts receivable and payable accounts. These reports are normally provided in several formats. Text, PDF, and spreadsheet are the most frequently used. Different levels of report customization are also available. For purposes of transferring data to AgriProfits, a detailed spreadsheet-based form of reports is preferable because it allows for greater compatibility with AgriProfits' data requirements, and also data transfer is easier. Let's see how data from accounting reports can be transferred to AgriProfits. We will start with revenue information using the example of a typical farm income statement. First, it is advisable to familiarize yourself with the AgriProfits data table formats and requirements. In particular, the AgriProfits revenue table is divided into 3 sections: enterprise revenue, government programs, and other income. Data must be entered on a cash basis, not including the goods and services tax, or GST. Income statements generated by typical farm accounting software may differ from the AgriProfits data table formats. The producer needs to review each line-by-line item of the income statement, identify the corresponding AgriProfits revenue account, and transfer the data. In some cases, the data may need to be aggregated first before transferring. In this example, the producer would need to sum the value of calves, cull bulls, and cull cow sales and enter this total as one entry in the AgriProfits account for the cow-calf enterprise sales. Income from sales of other products such as feeder cattle, commercial crops, and forages can be transferred in the same way. Finally, payments from government programs, insurance companies, and other sources of income should be transferred to the corresponding AgriProfits revenue accounts and allocated to the corresponding enterprises. AgriProfits cash expense data is divided into 3 sections: crop, livestock, and whole farm expenses. Just like with the revenue data, the producer needs to identify and transfer the expenses related to the AgriProfits enterprise, such as cereals, oilseeds, forages, pasture, and livestock enterprises, cow-calf, backgrounder dry lot, and backgrounder grasser. All other cash expenses that do not relate directly to a particular enterprise should be transferred to the AgriProfits whole farm section. The producer needs to be sure that all expenses are transferred to the AgriProfits accounts and allocated to the related enterprises. Before leaving the income statement report, the producer should check to see if the total receipts and expenses on the income statement are equal to the expenses transferred to AgriProfits. Other reports typically produced by accounting software are crop and livestock inventory reports. The report provides information on the quantity and values of the related inventories at the beginning and the end of a fiscal year. These types of reports are required for tax purposes and also for some government programs such as AgriStability and AgriInvest. AgriProfits captures inventory data into 4 different tables: crop inventory, livestock inventory for the beef module, livestock inventory not included in the beef module, and production supply inventory. It is advisable to follow this structure to make sure all data is transferred and there is no double counting. In the example, the producer transfers inventory of different types of crops, opening and closing balances, to the corresponding items of the AgriProfits crop inventory table. The producer needs to be sure that the units of measurement in the crop inventory report are identical to those in the AgriProfits table. If the producer is interested in the business of his or her cow-calf and/or backgrounding enterprises, they must complete the livestock inventory modules for the corresponding cattle categories. The major cattle categories that comprise the AgriProfits cow-calf enterprise are breeding bulls, open and cull cows, bred cows, and heifers. The major backgrounder cattle categories are feeder steers and open or feeder heifers. The other livestock categories that do not fit into the beef module should be transferred to the livestock inventory section of the AgriProfits assets table. In the example, the hog and horse inventories are transferred item by item to corresponding items of the assets table. The producer should ensure the units of measurement in the livestock inventory report are identical to those of the AgriProfits table. AgriProfits requires information on inventory of items used in the production process, also called supply inventories. The major types of supply inventories are seed, fertilizer, and chemicals used for crop production, twine and silage materials used for forages, and fuel, oil, lube used by all enterprises. AgriProfits uses this information for the economic analysis as well as for data checking purposes. In the example, the producer transfers supply inventory data to the corresponding section of the AgriProfits current assets table. For this type of inventory, there is no need for quantity or volume. The dollar values of opening and closing balances are sufficient. Now let's see how the fixed assets data, both building and machinery, generated by accounting software can be transferred to AgriProfits tables. AgriProfits accepts the fixed assets data in two forms, by current market value or by the purchased price. When the second option is chosen, the producer needs to also enter the date of purchase of the specific asset. Let's see how to transfer the buildings and improvements data first. Buildings and improvements data include all assets fixed to the farmland and used in the farm business, such as building site and services including electricity, farm shop, on-farm storage, and other farm buildings. In the example, the current market value of all buildings and improvement assets is transferred item by item to the AgriProfits building table and allocated to the enterprises where the assets were used. If specific types of assets are not listed in the AgriProfits accounts, the producer should enter the value under the other type and provide a short description of the asset. Transferring the machinery assets can be done in a similar way. The machinery includes pretty much everything that is used in the farming operation, such as combines, tractors, seeders, shop tools, and computers, everything that is normally used for more than 1 year. Note there is great variation in the machinery types. If there is no direct match for a specific type of equipment, the producer should use the other category of equipment from the machinery drop-down list and indicate whether the machinery is a self-propelled or pulled type. In the example, the machinery data is transferred to the AgriProfits machinery table item by item, and the values are allocated to those enterprises where that machinery was used. When transferring buildings and machinery fixed assets, the producer should ensure all items are included because missing information will affect the quality of the economic analysis. The last topic to be covered in this video is transferring of opening and closing balances of accounts receivable and accounts payable. This information is required to adjust the cash information provided in the revenue and expenses tables to accrual basis. The accounts receivable report provided by accounting software is a summary of the amounts owed to a company by its debtors or buyers. Depending on the accounting software, the report can provide aging of the receivable to show how current the account can be. Normal aging consists of 30, 60, 90, and over 90 days. Total amounts of opening and closing balances are sufficient for AgriProfits analysis purposes. AgriProfits requires accounts receivable data separately for crops and livestock, so the producer may need to aggregate separate accounts data into those groups. In the example, the total closing balances for several livestock items are aggregated and transferred to the AgriProfits assets table. Data for opening balances has to be transferred in the same way. When a specific item cannot be attributed directly to the crop or livestock group, it should be entered under the category of Other. The accounts payable reports provide a summary of amounts owing to creditors during the next 12 months. Normally, the accounting report is formatted in the same way as accounts receivable, with aging of current, 30, 60, 90, and over 90 days to reflect how current the business is in paying accounts. AgriProfits does not require detailed item-by-item data entry for accounts payable. Total opening and closing balances information for all accounts payable are sufficient. In the example, the total closing balance for all accounts payable is transferred to the AgriProfits liability table and allocated to the enterprises where the corresponding expense items were used. The total opening balance information should be entered in the same way. This ends this video. For any questions or additional information, please refer to the Government of Alberta Agriculture and Forestry Ministry's landing page. AgriProfits links may be found under the Agriculture Business and Economics sections. You can also contact AgriProfits staff directly at 780-422-4088.